Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful Pun Intended video. Today I have a lot of characters here to share with you. These were actually sent in by you guys on my Discord server if you guys want to be part of future videos, or if you just want to hang out with other people who participate in videos or watch the channel and are fans of the channel. You can join the Discord server. A link for it should be in the description. But these characters here were given to me so that I can assume things about them, because I'm doing another one of those assume things about your characters. So let's get started with this character here. Not all of them have names, so the name part isn't going to help me with these. It's based purely on the visual aesthetic of the characters. So starting off with this one right here, you look like you run an underworld bus. You know that Call of Duty map where it's like, I think it's called Transit or something like that? You're basically the bus driver for that, but you're in the underworld instead of in whatever that hellscape is in Call of Duty Zombies. And you, my friend, this character here, you like to go to techno raves constantly, all the time. That's your bread and butter. That's where you live, basically. You love it so much. And you, my friend, are going cross-country across, like, the whole country, from one coast to the other coast, and when you're done with that, you're going to go to another country, and you're going to do the same thing to that country, and when you're done with that country, you're going to go to another country, and you're going to go cross-country on that one. That is your life goal, and that is the mission you're on. You have not made it more than 10 feet from your bed, though. This character, once upon a time, long ago, wished upon a star, only to soon discover that that star was actually a burning ball of fire headed straight for them. They jumped just in time to avoid it, but their house burst into flames, and so you jumped in, tried to save whoever or whatever you can inside the house, which ultimately led you to get burnt beyond repair, to the point to where you're an unrecognizable lump of flesh with only a little bit of tuft of hair, and somehow, miraculously, your tail was left unscathed. You were the person they saved from that fire. You were able to go away with all of your hair, your tail, all that kind of stuff, but your flesh, your skin, was unfortunately never saved. You, this character here, is a streamer by day, a furry cat streamer by day, and at night, you're kept up constantly by the 27 cats that you have in your house, and so you spend your entire night taking care of them. This one right here is an over-pampered dog, essentially. You know those people that take their dogs and they dress them up in cute outfits and they have like 50 billion outfits for their dogs. They groom them constantly, like every other day. They may even dye the fur of the dog. That's basically that dog that you picture in when I'm explaining that. That's this dog. That's who this is. That's this character. That's their story. And I can't tell based on what I'm looking at right here if they really love it or if they're dying inside. You're part of an organization that hunts and kills psychics, but one day when you went to do your job killing another psychic, you underestimated their abilities and they blew your hair off. They literally blew your hair off with all of their power, and so now you wear a wig and pretend that you never lost your hair. And this is you before you fought the psychic. This character loves to throw rocks at frogs all day long, all the time. If you hit them up, they'll be like, "Hey, what you doing?" They're gonna be like, "Throwing rocks at frogs. What are you doing?" That's this character. This character here spends all of their money on katanas and knives and swords and stuff like that. So much so that this sword in particular that they're holding, they had to sell their own pants to afford, and they are more than happy and willing to do so. Your parents rejected you for being gay, and so you left, you fled, and you went full emo while doing so, but deep down you still celebrate your pride with your dyed hair and tail. This character is basically just Hatsune Miku if she was to go evil. If she went rogue, because you know Hatsune, it's like an AI or whatever, right? Hatsune Miku, when she goes rogue and evil, that's what this is. That's that future. This is that future where Hatsune Miku has gone evil. If you've ever seen Detroit Become Human, it's basically that, but just Hatsune Miku. No one else, just that one character. You're a traveling con artist who sells jelly beans that you pass off as magic jelly beans that will give them different traits and abilities or whatever else. You might try to sell them one purple jelly bean that's like, if you eat this, you'll get the ability of rubber and you'll bounce off walls for 24 hours, but it takes 24 hours for it to work, so trust me on this. And then they buy it, and then they try to find you afterwards because it doesn't work, and then you're long gone by then. In fact, you've already conned like 50 other people by then, so that's what you are. That's the vibe I get. You know that face stealer from Avatar: The Last Airbender? You somehow ended up in the spirit world and they took your face, okay? They took your face. You were somehow left with just your eyeballs, But what later happened was it just got worse. Your time in the spirit world was the worst thing ever. Not only did you lose your face from that one spirit, but later on you really pissed off a bat, and so it cursed you with bat wings. And then you were like, "Oh damn, this really sucks. This is bullshit." And a bull happened to hear you, and they're like, "Ah, nah, this is gonna be real bullshit after I'm done with you." And they gave you these horns, and you've just been trying to live your life from there. It's not really working out for you, but I hope you deal with those curses soon. Okay, so on her feedback in the background there, this character is, they were so obsessed with Twitter, and they're still in denial about Twitter being taken over and being changed to X. You also might have a long-lost brother, but I'm not sure. You were in a horrible accident. Your leg was cut off in this accident, but rather than bleeding when that happened, you bled this weird colorful stuff, and you soon realized that this colorful stuff was all of the color of your body, which was slowly being leaked out of your body. They were able to stop the bleeding just in time before you lost the color in your eyes, and they gave you this robot leg to fix that so you don't leak more color. And you're now on a quest to figure out if there's a way to get your color back, which you may or may not be able to do with the help of 6 friends. This character definitely makes TikToks in their spare time. I'm not sure what it is, but that's what I'm getting off of this character. You are the last of your people, and you're on a quest to make sure that the people that made you the last of your people suffer. You were originally like a jar of jelly, like grape jelly, and they took you into space. I'm not sure who it was that took you to space, but someone took you to space, which they shouldn't have done, because just like what happened with the Fantastic Four, you got hit by that weird radiation or whatever it was that the Fantastic Four got hit by, and not only did it give you sentience, it turned you into this, and now you're cursed with you're cursed with life, basically, and you're trying to figure out how you can turn back into grape jelly, because this is just the absolute worst thing that could ever happen. Tom Nook's old business partner, who almost stabbed Tom Nook in the past, but decided not to at the last minute, and unfortunately, because of that, you also stopped listening to Tom Nook's advice, which ultimately led you to become homeless, living in trash, and trying to sell literal trash to other raccoons. A thief, an absolute stealer, a madman, a criminal. You're wanted in 57 states for not only stealing Applejack's hat, but stealing that saddle, and probably many other things. You used to have a bunch of friends, but once you got your cutie mark, everyone started calling you Grumpy Bear, and that kind of made you grumpy, ironically, and so you kind of now fit the role of Grumpy Bear, and you will never get over the Grumpy Bear comment, because even to this day, people call you Grumpy Bear from Care Bears. There should be a picture there next to it. You have been to prison dozens of times. However many times you go to prison, you're never there for long, however, because the crimes you've committed are things that only leave you in prison for a week, a month, maybe a year at most. And so you've been to prison so many times that the other prisoners there have started to recognize you, and they're like, "Man, you got out of prison, didn't you?" And you're like, "Yeah, I escaped prison." So you've basically made this reputation where you have convinced everyone in the prison that you have been escaping prison, and then they just happen to catch you later. But in reality, you have just been committing a crime, being let go after fulfilling your full sentence, and then going back to prison for committing the same crime again. You will never be happy until you see every house burn. You're only happy when you see things burn. A savvy businessman who secretly on the side is a femboy streamer. Your mother was Starlight, and your father is unknown. You've never seen your father, and you never will. You originally applied for Femboy Hooters, but you were rejected. So what you decided to do to spite Femboy Hooters is to dress in drag and go get hired at Hooters instead. So you work at Hooters now. You wear that mask because you're missing your lower jaw. You have to keep that mask on because whenever you remove the mask, if people see you without your lower jaw, they freak out so much they run away. And once they're gone, they like, hang on, why was I running screaming? They literally forget you existed, just like the silence from Doctor Who, basically. So you're nice, you like to keep that mask on, but whenever you need that ability, you're more than willing to use it. Onto you. You fell into a vat of blue. I don't know what else I can say. You just fell into a vat of blue, and that's just who you are now. You're blue. Abadidabadu. You were originally a black dragon, but you were such a huge fan of Spyro that you wanted to cosplay as Spyro, so you painted yourself purple, and unfortunately, when you did so, you failed to realize that this paint would be permanent, and so you are now just permanently purple, whereas originally, you were like black and blue. Abadi-dabadoo. You not only designed the first American flag, but you put it together, you sewed it with your own hooves, and you were patriotic from there on out. Even after you turned into this horrible bat pony and almost started working for the French, you stayed with your American pride, and even to this day, you only bite and suck the blood of people who are not American, because that is the true American way. A Pegasus, who's also a furry, and their persona is a dog. This character loves their ice cream more when it's melted than it is frozen, but they have a weird obsession with ice cream to the point that they will literally wash their hair with it. You should do something about that, because that's not good. Obviously, you smell like rotten milk all the time too because of that. So go get some help. You work at Wendy's mostly so you can sneak a couple of nuggies here and there. You want to be the best there ever was, but it's not quite working out for you even after years of trying and trying. So you're still on the edge of whether or not you should join that secret organization. You're kind of like, maybe I should, because then maybe I would be the best of the best. But for the most part, you're kind of in that in-between where you're almost like an anti-hero, where you're not quite sure if you should continue doing the path that you've been going on, or if you should join that evil organization. I mean, that secret organization. A witch. You are a witch. At least that's what you push on to others. That's what you say. That's how you present yourself, as a witch, a master of the mystic arts or whatever. You are not actually a witch, in fact, though. People don't usually question it because, I mean, no one wants beef with witches or wizards or anything like that, so you're able to keep up the persona. But one of these days, you're going to meet a real witch, and they might just curse you for pretending to be the real deal. We skipped this one because we could not come up with something for this one. Tyler the Tiger poured Fanta into a magic fountain, and this is what came out. And now, just like the grape jelly guy, you're trying to figure out this whole life thing. It's a bit of a curse, but you're much more happy about the curse. You're much more happy to have been given life, unlike the grape jelly guy. You were a Gmod character that the mod that you came from was so great and so powerful that it actually came out of Gmod and into the real world. Unfortunately, when you did that, you weren't able to get all of your textures over with you. You weren't able to pull over that with you, so you just have a bunch of missing textures and all this stuff. This right here is actually your alter ego, because in reality, you're fighting crime at night or whatever else like this, and the superhero costume and everything. But in reality, during the day or whatever, you're just this mild-mannered blue horse. You work and run a butterfly conservatory, but unfortunately, you're not really good at running a butterfly conservatory, so the butterflies get out all the time, and so you have to, like, make fake butterflies to put in there. You're really trying your best. You really do care about the butterflies and the other critters in your conservatory, but you're just not very good at it yet. You'll get there one day, though, so keep trying. When all the other Kirans stopped talking, you thought they were playing the statue game, the stay still game, instead of the be quiet game. And so you just stayed still in that one place, fully capable of speaking, by the way, because you didn't know they went into that weird fountain to like lose their speaking. So you could totally speak, but you just stayed still for a really long time because you thought they were playing the stay still game instead of the be quiet game. You got those two mixed up. And when they finally did get their speaking back and started talking and everything like that, you're like, haha, I win, and you started moving again. And now they don't have the heart to tell you that you made that mistake. You were an experiment gone wrong by other scientists who were trying to create real-life Pokemon. This is the first thing that came out, Gra, and they were very pleased with it, but they're very, 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 very terrified of it because it has some dormant power that can just wipe out continents. A fashion designer, one of those high-class, like, fashion designers. You hear about them all the time, and people are big fans of you and everything like that. But deep down, deep down in their subconscious, they're like, man, I don't get it. I don't get the designs. I don't understand them. And deep down, if they really thought about it, they actually don't like the designs. They just like the fact that they're popular. And you made those designs. A shy, introverted, anxious girl who aspires to one day own and run and make their own butterscotch candy. Where did you get that ascot? Did you get that from Fred? Give it back to him. He's been looking for it. This is Tyler the Tiger, who sells Fanta instead of cereal. And that was the last one. We did it. We got through all of them. This was a lot. This was way more than I think I've done in the previous videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed these. If you have any comments about some of the characters or anything like that, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think of some of the ideas there. I love making stories and stuff like that, so that's why I love doing videos like this. I actually have made a book. If you want to check out that book, a link for it is in the description. We have Absurd Above All Else. I also have Birthmark available too. Those are 2 different books I have there available. But another reminder, if you guys want to participate in future videos, not even necessarily just this, but if you wanted to participate in the bad games, Gartic Phone in Ponytown, or like GeoGuessr in Ponytown or something like that, join the Discord server. A link for that is also in the description. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and doing all those wonderful things like that. Because when you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful. I looked at the window to think for a second, and I saw a bird.
That's your assumption now. That's how you get distracted, Danny.